My name is Vern Raincock, and I've put my hat in the ring to run for mayor in the city of Airdrie, Alberta. We're closing in on 100,000 people, probably by the end of 2026, based on current projections. Really thank Diversity Magazine to give us an opportunity to discuss the matters. From listening to other candidates in Airdrie, we're on the same page. It comes down to transparency, taxes, lack of hospitals. I guess in the big picture, not enough school locations, and we had pretty much no. I don't believe anybody last night on the forum that we had with the Airdrie Chamber of Commerce had any arguments. That's highly unusual in politics. Very happy of the tone that we had in that meeting. Um, so in the big picture, I ran because I've had some instances with health over the last few years where we've been forced to consider to not go to Airdrie urgent care. Going back about 10 years ago, some of the waits in Airdrie urgent care for overnight, because it wasn't a 24-hour facility, it's caused deaths. Michelle Bates lost her 5-year-old son. And so there's a new group that's called Airdrie Health Foundation, which I support. Unfortunately, they can only do so much. They're buying some equipment. There have been some private doctors trying to pool their assets to build a 3-story urgent care facility, which is really much needed. There was political tension caused by that. That's part of the reason I believe by our past mayor decided not to run. Um, we just know that the provincial and federal government are failing Canadians when it comes to infrastructure investment. I don't know where the money's going. I don't know anybody does. Hospitals, there are business models that if you go back a couple hundred years or at least 150 years, majority of hospitals were started up by local foundations and churches. They built the hospital, they put the beds in themselves. That was a localized response to the needs for healthcare. Schools, same thing. Why are we waiting for the province to say, yes, we can build a school? Why are we waiting for the province or the federal governments to put any money into a hospital when there's adequate funding privately through large organizations that are foundations or nonprofit? So these are tough questions. We have to ask, why are we limiting the local economies in Airdrie or even Calgary for making these grand decisions? What can we do to ensure the safety of the current single pay system when it comes to healthcare? But when people are waiting upwards of 16 hours to see a doctor, that's not good. I spoke with one lady. I'm not sure if you people in Edmonton and Calgary know, but anybody on needs kidney dialysis in Airdrie must travel 3 times a day into Calgary. If they don't have transportation, they often try and book a bus, which if in the winter months you get stuck in a snowstorm, these people are missing their times to go and get served by the healthcare system. Um, so why is it? The question I always bring up is whys. Somebody has to answer why we don't have a kidney dialysis location in Airdrie, population 100,000. I'm originally from Penticton. Penticton's had a local hospital since my dad was born in Haven Hill Hospital, right by Munson's Mountain in 1939. I had to go to the newer hospital that replaced Haven Hill. Haven Hill's now an extended care. Several times playing hockey, you know how it is to get bumped and had to go in and get fixed up, get stitches, etc. That particular hospital has kidney dialysis for a population under 50,000. So I'm just frustrated. That's why I'm running. I believe everybody else, including the 2 council members that are running as mayor, are all feeling the same way. So I guess healthcare is there. Schools, I like the opportunities that you see in the United States for schools, where a school district has the ability to float a local bond. So let's assume, Frank, you and I, our kids are going to school in Edmonton, let's say, but the school has no seats, and now we're being bused to another school that has no seats. The kids are not at home for over an hour because they're being bussed around. What hinders the school district from going to the people within Northwest Calgary or Edmonton or Airdrie to place a bond, a local bond that provides, say, 4% interest, knowing that you're being compensated, putting money into that bond issue, and that bond issue could be closed within 6 months, and we could break ground immediately on schools. The lots are there. Most all the developers have to put aside public spaces. That's part of the deal. If we can't do that, the next question is how can the developers put gymnasiums and community centers on those lots to make it more attractive? Generally speaking, you have services, you can sell your lot at a higher price. So why are we not concurrently requiring the developers to come to the table, finish a soccer pitch, put an outside basketball court in, uh, put a gymnasium in, and at the end of the day, create a building space that could be used for community associations as well as local weddings. It could be anything. And understanding that eventually, once the locations are large enough to have enough children to go into the schooling system, that the elementary school just pops in because we already have the money to do so. So there's a lot of things. It comes down to finance, looking at different ways of doing it. I know Blackstone is investing right now in several passenger rail systems throughout North America. Question is if Blackstone can purchase the White Pass Railroad and maintain it and make it a more viable business model, connecting people going up to Alaska on cruise ships. We have to ask if these large corporations are interested in sustainability and passenger rail, why are we doing a master plan right now when our organization, I'm a research director for integrated travel, we look into affordable housing, we're looking into matters when it comes to frequent, affordable, and transportation, either by bus or by rail between communities, including First Nation communities as well as rural communities. Um, Access to healthcare. We're working on a study right now. It came out of the UK, and I've got four researchers right now. For every 10 kilometers that a seriously ill or injured person is in a hospital or in an ambulance going to a hospital, for every 10 kilometers, the unfortunate truth is that the mortality rate increases by 1%. So a good example right now, let's assume I'm brought in with a heart attack to Sturgeon Community Hospital in St. Albert, and I have to go get surgery, let's say at Royal Alexandra Hospital. It's only 15 kilometers, 16 kilometers away, if I remember correctly. Um, right now, Airdrie's closest hospital is 30 kilometers away. We're looking at problems with the snow conditions in the winter, rush hour traffic. Um, it took me an hour and a half one day just to go to downtown Calgary from Airdrie for work. Just imagine when everything's not moving, the traffic's not moving, whether or not that person will make it. There's several women have had their babies between Airdrie and Calgary because Airdrie doesn't have the urgent care can't provide natal support whatsoever. So things keep going on and on and on. So um, the other aspect of Airdrie, it's the largest community I know that doesn't have a entertainment district. I know that if you take a look at Southwest Calgary, you've got the Grey Eagle Casino that has event space. That's a long journey from Airdrie. There's a lot larger venues in Calgary, and those are hard to get to, especially in the winter. Again from Penticton. There was a corporation that's based in Arizona that built a 5,000 seat event center, and the city of Penticton is attracting $100 million additional revenue into the city's small businesses. They also have a tax on every ticket sold. I know that in Kent, Washington, when I lived in Seattle for 4 years, they built a Snowwear Center. That's where the Seattle Thunderbirds play. If it's a $50 ticket, they charge 5% event fee. If you have 5,000 people, you do the number calculation. That's well over $10,000 per day that could be generated for community charities. It's just very frustrating that we're stuck in this cycle for the last, I would argue, 4 decades. I would say the last time I saw any marked investment in the Calgary area was the Calgary Olympics. We haven't maintained any of the Olympic facilities, and our legacy is slipping away. So that's why I got involved in politics. Um, uh, on my website, I've shared a link that's currently going to close to a 1 hour YouTube discussion with Michelle Bates from the Airdrie Health Foundation. It's uh, it's very emotional to have her go over the loss of her son due to inadequate facilities here in Airdrie and Northwest Calgary, especially. So that's my 50 cents. I rather look at solutions and action. The rhetoric has to stop. The positive note I have is we always have to talk about the positive before we go. In Airdrie, compared to other centers, we have a wonderful snow removal system. The city does an exceptionally good job of maintaining the meridians. In this, we don't have high grass. They make sure that any branches are not impeding people's travel along sidewalks. Overall, the sidewalks are in excellent repair. They are often every year removing sidewalks that are cracked. So a lot is good in Airdrie. We need to find some money to do some of these more important things. And I think the most important thing right now is to listen to your organization, how people within your organization, can work with us in the big picture.
Sure, thank you. I think you elaborated a lot of the problems with Airdrie, and we look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail and how the campaign goes, and hopefully you can have the opportunity to solve some of those problems. Thank you for your time, Vern, and thanks for
And thank
coming on.
you. And
All the
wish
very
everybody
best.
Truth and Reconciliation Day today. Have a
Thank
good one.
you. Same to you. You
Yeah,
too.
bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.